So Rocio Restrepo has moved on to the championship match, seeking her second PWBA Tour title. She defeats Kelly Kulick in a narrow 214-211 thriller. Bowlers today use many different types of releases. Finding and understanding the one that's best for you is the topic of this week's USBC Bowling Academy Tip.
We're going to be talking about some of the different releases we see nowadays, and maybe put them into 4 different categories of the releases. And let's start with the new one that everyone's seeing is the two-handed release.
Right. We see lots of success with the two-handers, definitely on the men's tour, and you know, the amount of RPMs they're able to create and pin carry, it's really actually pretty impressive.
We're seeing even a lot of youth players on our youth team, Junior Team USA, and around the country and around the world are actually doing this two-handed release.
Right, and you know, is it a release or is it more just a two-handed swing? It's almost like they're just really swinging the ball with two hands, but the release is really just with one.
That's where the misconception is. It really is not a two-handed release. One hand releases and then the other one just does a contemporary, what would you say, a normal release, so to speak, but it actually is a two-handed swing. Some use their thumb and some don't.
Right, and we're not really seeing a big increase whether they're using their thumb or they're not in the RPMs.
No, it's just kind of whatever personal preference is going to be style of whatever they're doing in the swing. A couple other releases. We have, I hate to use this word, but a contemporary release. A release that the good 3/4 have been taught for years and years on how they do it. Why don't you go ahead and show us what we do with the hand?
Nothing wrong with that release.
You've done that for a while, haven't you? And had some success with it too, haven't you? So the contemporary, when the thumb comes out, the hand will continue rolling through, but it is going to be a counterclockwise rotation. So the key here is making sure that we keep this elbow in when we make that rotation. Now, what are some we've seen the newer players are doing? I don't want new players. We're seeing a lot more on the Team USA players, the younger players, the new generation that grew up on the resin bowling balls.
Right.
Their hand position is going to be in the same place. They start to release the ball, but they will do what? They will actually kick their fingers back.
Yeah, they kind of go more clockwise.
So it almost pulls the elbow in, gets the same rotation, but it actually is going to be rotating on the inside of that bowling ball. Which, it's very interesting how the evolution of the game's gone, because one we don't see a lot nowadays is the full roller.
Right, one of the best players in the world, Shannon Plahowski.
Yes, it's a very heavy roll because it's covered in circumference of the bowling ball. Back in the 60s and 50s, they had the full rollers that actually went in between the fingers and thumb. To do that release, it's the same thing on the new modern players of turning in, but they would actually turn their thumb into the backswing. So it almost like used to call it a figure 8. They would turn their thumb in, come back, and then turn. So the modern release actually has some history going back all the way to the full roller. The key is understand what your release is, what's going to be best for you, and you can actually practice it with some drills.
The USBC Bowling Academy provides hundreds of hours of high-quality instructional videos for bowlers of all skill levels. Learn from Team USA and USBC certified gold coaches, as well as other top pros and instructors. All you have to do is visit usbcbowlingacademy.com today for more information. Championship match, Lindsay Boomershine making her first appearance in a final. She'll take on Rocio Restrepo, who defeated Kelly Kulick. It's a big match coming up. We're ready for the championship match, and the proprietor of Seminole Lanes, Corey Krause. Watch live early round coverage of all PWBA events, plus live and on-demand coverage of all of the best professional bowling action on Extra Frame. Visit extraframe.tv for more info or to subscribe today. And again, I was saying earlier how nice it is, how nice it was to have the PWBA back in Florida. It's been a while, and hopefully it's going to be part of the PWBA calendar for a long time to come. All right, Rocio Restrepo versus Lindsay Boomershine. Restrepo starts up, left-hand lane for the title. And she's had success with Brooklyn.
On that lane.
Yep.
So the ball really never had a chance. I mean, it was left. The head pin kind of clears out the whole right-hand side of the rack there. It's not the way you want to line up or start, but.
We take a look at Lindsay Boomershine from Perry, Utah, 16th in points rank, making her television debut in the #1 seed. A little light.
Yeah, she I watched her in practice quite a bit, and she had been kind of playing with some different balls. She actually took this ball and changed the surface a lot, and once she got a little more scuff on it, it actually rolled too early. This is the first shot I've seen her miss right with that ball.
Her prior best PWBA finish was Minnesota last year. She was 13th. Oh boy. Well, you do wonder about the nerves. It has to hit you.
All nerves.
You've been waiting through a couple of matches. The one with Kelly and Rocio came down to the end. There was no clear winner right away, and all of this is sort of building on you.
When she came over to the pair to start her practice, she was intentionally walking slow back from the foul line to keep herself calm. So the fact that she was doing that meant that she was a little nervous. She's been using her arm to guide the ball path.
Well,
to
the ball
get the ball
path
angle.
just guided her to a Greek church.
Yeah, this is not the way you want to start. I haven't seen her do that with her arm with the ball path before. Has she been doing that? She's using that to help with either her left or eye dominance to angle her body in starting position to get the ball to the place in the lane that she wants to get it to.
So Rocio Restrepo has an early opportunity to really put a hurting on Boomershine, because she's got to recover mentally, and then she has to watch Rocio, who's coming off of a good match, a solid 214. And Restrepo already on a strike now. She shifts to the right lane.
And she already knows what's happening with this pair, and she has the experience of the game, the prior game.
Boomershine won't watch. And another Greek church. I don't recall, and I've done a few matches, seeing back-to-back Greek churches before.
She's looking for confirmation from her husband, who helps her with her game, whether or not that was actually a good shot off her hand.
Well, what does Kim Adler say?
It looked like she caught a lot of it, and so that it just hit the end of the pattern and hooked. Now remember, we're using the new curve oil here. So in theory, this type of oil seems to, we are seeing, hook quite a bit quickly. So that may be contributing to part of this as well.
Well, this could be a really interesting match, because there it was for Restrepo, a real opportunity for a body blow, and instead she's given Boomershine a lifeline. Now she could come right back here and strike. This is the lane where she struck, although Brooklyn, she has gone several times.
And she's still wanting to keep it simple, throw good shots.
She didn't go Brooklyn there. She goes instead with a makeable 2-4-5 and said good shot.
So if she's throwing good shots and she feels they're good off her hand, she has to start thinking that maybe this ball isn't working anymore.
Could be time for a change. We'll see what happens when she gets back up.
Making it from the left side.
Straight at it.
Come on.
That's exactly what Lindsay has to do here too, the self-talk, get herself back in this. It's way too early.
Lindsay has won 3 times the USBC Women's Championship titleist of scratch events in 2012, all events, scratch doubles and diamond doubles. She was a 4-time All-American at Nebraska, Player of the Year at Nebraska, and member of a national championship team in Nebraska. That looks solid. Kind of a flat 10, but a way better shot than the first 2 that she led off with.
Yeah, she's going to stay with this ball and just keep throwing good shots. You can't make any adjustments until you throw good shots. And that was definitely a much smoother ball off her hand, a little more rotation.
Looking for her first mark. A little sigh of relief for someone who is making her television debut. We asked her about that.
I can't think of it like, oh, like you finally, made your first TV show. And obviously, I think anyone would be nervous. So I think I'm going to embrace that rather than you can't be nervous, because I think, being nervous is actually good. When Liz texted me and she's like, congratulations, like, I hope you win and all that stuff. And I was like, do you still get nervous? And she's like, absolutely. And I think about how many titles and majors that she's won.
In the case of Liz Johnson, that would be 19 titles and 8 majors, including 5 opens. And to hurry. Well, there's so much on the plate there.
She has to wonder. She had 2 balls in her hand in practice. Which ball does she start with, and whether or not she made the right decision?
Well, just as Rocio had an opportunity, Lindsay had an opportunity, and it might have slipped from her fingers, and she'll do what she can, which is going to be 2 pins shy of that. So she still has just 1 mark and 3 opens, no strikes, and now she's given it right back to Restrepo at plus 25. I don't know if you're going to get a second chance.
Right, right. So she's staying with the same ball, but this is her better lane with the ball.
Good looking shot, flat 10.
And she may be changing her game plan a little bit based upon Lindsay's problems by just filling frames right now, of course. Leaving easy spares if she can. The ball just kind of ran out of energy at the end. But at the worst, it's a 10 pin. Let's see if she hits the ball return again this time.
Yes. I think that's just going to happen. I mean, that's just going to be.
She may have accepted it by now.
Yep.
That's part of that lane.
We take a look at international champions, this season. Bernice Lim won the USBC Queens from Singapore. Cherie Tan from Singapore. Sacramento, Clara Guerrero, Colombia. The Go Bowling PWBA Players Championship. And Rocio's already picked up 1. And she is on her way to another for this year.
And she stayed with the same ball. A lot firmer through the shot.
Oops, a big 4. Well, she's given another opportunity to Lindsay Boomershine. So Lindsay is going to get that second chance, but can she throw a good shot on that first ball?
Lane 7 is not looking like the lane you want to end this game. That's for sure.
Boy, her lead just dropped to 7. I tell you what, when we get to the break here, those ball reps will be out there in a half a heartbeat to discuss what needs to be done. It's going to be some interesting conversations and, frankly, necessary conversations.
Lindsay did a few hand signals, not that one, but a few other hand signals to the side on the break there just to see if she should stay with that ball with her husband.
And all right, that actually
hit it. Oh,
no, that actually makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, Hank Boomershine is over here just in front of our booth with Del Ballard.
The ball skids from way far in there, but just not enough to keep it going. And that ball really runs out of energy.
Going for it, going for it, going for it.
Oh, she really could have used that.
Would have been an emotional lift, to say the least. But yet, despite the fact that she has just the 1 spare, she's only down 18 pins. And a strike would flush out a lot of toxins.
She did not have a lot of confidence in that shot, but made it look great.
There you go. There was a ball change, and it ends up with her first strike of the match. She'll go into this little break with a good feeling. And still a chance to get her first PWBA Tour title. The PWBA makes it very simple as to who the player of the year is going to be. If you have the most points, you're the player of the year. Last year it was Liz Johnson. This year, at the moment, it's Liz Johnson. However, Rocio Restrepo is in the second place spot, and a win here would do a lot for her. Danielle McEwen in third. In fourth place, Shannon Pluhowski, Clara Guerrero in fifth, and Shannon O'Keefe in sixth with 3 titles this summer.
So she's taken a lot of time here. Both of the players, I think, are in the midst of changing balls. Lindsay is now going to, I mean, it's just been a nightmare of splits, and so it's time that they both think about changing. They're staying in the same balls, but different layouts.
We're shining down by just 7. Restrepo with an open in the 6th and a strike in the 7th. Pretty. Where's the card?
Oh man, and it definitely pushed a lot better. Just not a good result.
First time that I've read this, and it has some significance because this is going to happen perhaps. Any player who converts a 7-10 on our CBS Sports Network finals will receive a $100,000 bonus from Ultimate Bowling Products. So off of the 1 strike, she drops now to minus 19. You heard it's the worst game of my life. First time, this is her initial debut, her first appearance on television, and her first appearance in a final. She's the #1 seed, so she had to do some waiting as well for a couple of matches to take place. So how many ever good thoughts you're trying to pump into your brain at that time, the waiting is the hardest part, as Tom Petty once said, and he was right.
That's a good shot.
It's a great shot. That's how you come back. That's beautifully done by Lindsay.
And hopefully this kind of gets her some momentum going, because she kind of feels she looks downtrodden, just defeated, and the game is far from over.
She has to know that, I think, deep down. If I were her, I might sneak a peek at that big scoreboard off to the player's right and just be reminded. Now, Restrepo, this has not been a great game for her either, although she is coming off of a strike. She had a rough going in the middle frames and will really let Boomershine back into the match. She can kick her out of the match with a string of strikes.
That sounds so easy.
Yes.
And sometimes it can look easy.
Shots, baby. Come on, right here. Right now. Come on.
It doesn't look any different, but I tell you what, it got a good amount of skid there. In the transition, it definitely reacted a lot better. Very pumped.
When I was very young, I had so much passion for the sport, and my whole life I've just loved it so much that it takes everything out of me to bowl, because I sacrifice so much. I make so many sacrifices to be here that I feel like I should be caring for every shot I throw. Right now, come on. Get the ball. Okay, 9.
That was a huge 9.
9.
That shot got better and better as those extra pins started to fall.
Right.
It helps her count.
That ball, it looks like it's skid, hook, and then skid again. Balls aren't supposed to do that when they go down the lane.
Yes, come on.
Smart move, plastic ball or 5-pin.
Shot.
She's even pumping up her spares. So Lindsay Boomershine has struck 2 of the last 3 frames, and between those 2 strikes was an open. Her max at the moment is 168, and she might need every bit of that.
Good shot. Oh.
Better hurry. No, I'm not going to hurry. Washed out instead.
It was aggressive.
It
Just
was.
a little more angle than she could really afford. So from the back, it just went straight this way, too far, right through the spot she wanted to be.
So another open. And Rocio Restrepo moving ever closer to winning her second PWBA Tour title, and this year. So Rocio Restrepo has won the PWBA St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open, defeating the top seed Lindsay Boomershine. For Restrepo, her second this year, and she will make a big move in that Player of the Year race trying to catch Liz Johnson. Congratulations to Rocio, being a champion for the second time this year. Well, the Player of the Year race just got really interesting after Kelly Kulick defeated Stephanie Johnson. Rocio Restrepo defeated Kelly and then defeated Lindsay Boomershine. And Rocio in that second position, chasing Liz Johnson for the top spot for Player of the Year. Picks up her second PWBA Tour title this year, putting St. Petersburg-Clearwater along with her Detroit trophies. Congratulations to Rocio and our Smithfield moment of the match. This 8th frame strike nailed it down. Solidly done by Rocio. Low scoring final. Both players definitely struggled with the conditions, but it was Restrepo who came through in that 8th frame with a big shot. There she is with Corey Krause, the proprietor of Seminole Lanes, handing her the trophy. Our congratulations to Rocio Restrepo, winner of the PWA St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open. Be sure to join us next Sunday, September 4th at noon for the Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship. For my partner, Kim Adler, and our entire CBS Sports Network crew, this is Dave Lamont saying so long from the PWBA St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open. In association with the United States Bowling Congress, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.